Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty Podcast, where we do what we do, where we win, where we lose, where we tank, where we stank. We talking Dynasty. We talking, I don't know what we talking. We're going to talk a couple quarterbacks today, maybe hop in some rankings a little bit, but Craft Man, what the fuck is up?
Just excited to be back on with you guys. It's been a long weekend. Went out to Green Bay to watch them lose. They play like shit. Don't know what to think about them, but I took a break from fantasy over the weekend and missed out on so much shit. I got back and waiver wires are just picked clean and shit. So just trying to get back in the groove now.
Got see Swizzy in the building. What's up, big dog?
Not much. Lost this week. Mad about it.
Yeah, man. In my home league, I finally got up to 500. and I'm playing against the worst player in the league this week, so feels good, man. Feels good. In my other league, though, Craft, tanking on purpose, trying to lose. I play Will Levis, so I win. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck, man? I thought for sure, man. I thought it was a shoe-in, man. I'm like, man, I got Will Levis going today. Sat out Derek Carr. Wasn't even trying to win at all. But I got the win, so it feels like I took the L. Got a few of us down there losing on purpose, so then when you win, you feel like you lost. You're like, what the fuck? First time I've ever been in this situation. Oh, big man. Too funny, man. Yeah, man, had some things. We'll talk about Will Levis today. And then we're going to talk about some Kirk Cousins. Done fucking went down. Maybe talk a little something else. Maybe some of these trades that went down. Not too much happened. I like to all these people on Twitter and shit like that. I just really want to tell everybody, like, yo, this ain't the NBA. Like, this ain't the NBA trade deadline. Like, everybody's like, expect Kyler Murray to be a Viking tomorrow. I'm like, I wouldn't count on it. I don't think that was gonna happen. And like, these fantasy folks live in a dream world, man. It's funny though.
Yeah, they got to throw it out there. But like you said, it ain't like the NBA where Kirk Cousins like flies over to Kyler Murray's house, or they talk at the dead like, hey, man, we really need you over here. Come on out. Come help us out. Help me win a championship. That shit don't fly.
It's like in the NBA, like these mid-level players, they make so much money. These mid-level players can hold your franchise hostage and shit like that. So you could demand shit and get away with it in the NBA. There's 53 motherfuckers on your roster and football and shit like that. Like, and all these people are talking about like Devontae Adams should walk into the office and be like, I demand a trade. And I just want to be like, what you gonna do? They got him locked down for 3 more years after this. Like, shut up, take your paycheck. You get paid a lot, so.
Yep. Devontae said he wants to trade, and the GM said, I want more than one reception for 11 yards, so something's got to fucking happen.
Oh, man. Shit's hilarious. But, hey, yeah, that's one thing that we could talk about. Them motherfuckers did get fired. McDaniel and the GM, they got fired, so good for them. Good for the Raiders organization. Because McDaniel's his ass, being honest. Like, go be a coordinator and just head back to New England where you just chill with daddy. Get back under his wing. Let Bill just wrap you around and you just be the OC. I mean, you ain't shit. GM, fuck them. Fuck the Raiders, man. They really are been the worst. Let's say I've been on this planet for 30 years. I would say they've been the worst in my lifetime. Them and the Browns are up there too, but they're probably actually the Browns probably been the worst, but the Raiders, Jets.
Yeah, I think the Jets too.
At least the Jets had like some Rex Ryan years of my lifetime. Like Vegas, what did they? I'm just trying to think of what they did. Rich Gannon. I mean, fuck, that was a long time ago, Kraft. So.
Geno Smith threw 7 picks in one game as a Jet. I was like, oh my god.
Butt fumble years.
The butt fumble, man. That one play killed that man's career, man. Shit, he couldn't recover from that shit. Dude was
I mean, he
But
had some good games a few years like after when he was coming in as backup. Like he was having good years.
man, he was
you
going
know
toe to
what's
toe with
you know
Tom
what's
Brady.
super fun? What'd you say, Matt?
I was like, he went toe to toe with Tom Brady a few times.
He, he really did. He really did.
I know.
Wasn't he
Go
with the
ahead.
Eagles?
Who?
Mark
Sanchez?
Sanchez?
Nah, he's with the
Yeah.
Jets. Spent time with the
Well, I
Jets
know
for
that he
that time.
was, but he was with he did go to the Eagles though, didn't he?
He did bounce
After that.
around a little bit. I can't even remember. Crab, what was you saying? I interrupted you.
No, we were just talking about the Browns and how bad they've been and not having a quarterback for like 30 years. Now they pay one and he don't even want to play for them. So like this man's
Golly.
just like, I'm really just going to collect my check. And they're just labeling his days now. They're not even putting injuries. They're just saying he might not play this week because it's like a rest game. This man just needs to sleep.
Oh my goodness. I
Man
don't even
said the
want
massage parlors up here in Cleveland suck, man. I ain't doing nothing.
to. Can't get what he
Jeez.
wants out there. They ain't like how they were in Texas.
That's just Clemson players for you right there, just lazy.
Oh no.
Man, I know, man. I can't even defend that shit right now, man. It's crazy. All right, well, let's get on at it, man. Biggest news of the week. It killed me. It fucking kills me in multiple leagues, man. Kirk Cousins. It was at the end of the game, right? Tears his Achilles. Out for the year. So he's done. Let's just break it all the way down, man. What's this mean for everybody? Like, Kirk Cousins, what's it mean for Kirk Cousins? You know, this whole time, Kraft man, I was saying I expect him to re-sign. He's probably going to sign 2 more years and do it again. They just because it ain't been Kirk Cousins' fault. I mean, the defense has been so bad. The offense has been all right though. And I did see where old coach came out today and said he hopes that they bring back Kirk Cousins. So I think the head coach wants him back. It just depends on what the organization wants. Well, what you think, Kraft man?
I mean, I think the way the Vikings are making moves now, they brought in Dobbs, so they haven't really given up on the season. Their record's going to be probably too good to pick a good quarterback in the draft. Like they can take a shot at one, but I mean, it just makes more sense to me that they just sign Kirk to a 1-year deal after this, and try to go for it again next year because they're not that many pieces away from really contending. The NFC's kind of wide open still, so. I just think they're going to try to contend again next year.
Chris, what you think about old Kirk? You think he's going to be back? You think? I mean, I don't know.
I
What you
think he's gonna be back. And I agree with a lot of people. Like it ain't Kirk that's causing this. I mean, Kirk makes some mistakes, but when he's got to be on the field as much as he's on the field because the defense can't stop nobody, it's a problem.
Yeah. You know what? It's like I said before the injury. I was saying they're gonna bring him back. That's what I think. I still think. I mean, they're not going. I don't think they're really gonna be in position to get one of these. I mean, what's their record right now? I know they won a couple games, the last couple games, but they're not down there with the Bears and
They're
the
like
Panthers'
middle of the
record's
pack.
bad. So
They're 4-4.
4-4. They just traded for Josh Dobbs too. So Josh Dobbs had some nice games over there in Arizona. It ain't gonna be all bad. They'll probably win some more. So. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You might as well bring old Captain Kirk back, is what I'm thinking. And try to do something about that defense. Like, quit trading for guys like Cam Akers and maybe add something to the defense. Like, our defense is so bad, so what are we going to do? We're going to go get Cam Akers. Like, that shit makes no sense anyways.
They could have had Chase Young for a third.
Could have had Chase Young.
Yeah.
They'd have to pay him probably, but... All right, then. But what's this mean for everybody else, though? We're getting a little redraft right here. Addison, I got him in my league. The dude's like the wide receiver 12 or 13 and half PPR right now. Mad crap, I'm just thinking about that team on Average Joe's, man. I had Garrett Wilson and Jordan Addison losing their quarterbacks, man. What could have fucking been? I should be up there with you and old Fish Peddler or whatever his name is. Fucking, I'm playing against him this week, and I got the worst buys. I'm just taking the L this week. So... But yeah, what we doing with Addison? I mean, I think the thing to do is you want to try to trade him real quick, but what can you even do? Everybody knows Kirk Cousins ain't there, so
Exactly. That's the problem. Is like there's not really any names you can try to throw them out there for. I mean, in redraft, like Adam Thielen, maybe Like we talked about T. Higgins, but it seems like most people are hanging on to hope that T. Higgins is going to pick it up, which I think he will too. But you're probably just going to hold him. You can try to send a couple trade offers, but you don't want to go too low. I mean, Nico Collins, I don't know.
I was throwing out there, Chris Olave. Him and Derek Carr ain't been really connecting
at all.
That's about all. That's about the main thing I could think of was T. Higgins and Chris Olave. If you didn't want to, go super low, but I don't know. I mean, I think at some point maybe you just hold on to Addison and just hope Dobbs can and connect with them, and they just PPR their way to some fantasy points. I mean, that's kind of the same thing what I did with Garrett Wilson. Like, I didn't want to drop too low, keep giving him up, and I would say in a way it's kind of paid off a little bit. He's still getting his targets and stuff, but I don't really see this situation being as good as. I mean, I know it's crazy to say. I think Garrett Wilson's situation with Zach Wilson's probably way better than Josh Dobbs in Minnesota. I mean, he's just showing up this week. I mean, I'm sure he's not starting this week. I'm sure it's the rookie. Oh, what's his face?
He ain't starting this week, but Garrett Wilson's a better. I mean, he's had more tenure in the league than Addison, so they're going to feed Garrett Wilson, no matter who the quarterback is. I mean, Jefferson's still probably going to come back, so, I mean, I would personally if I could sell Addison, I would go lower than that. Maybe, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, maybe something like that. I know you don't want to, but Jefferson comes back, he's going to be the number 2. Well, shoot, Hawkinson's still going to get plenty of targets too. He's going to be the number 3 probably in the pecking order with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback. So
what about old Hawk? Obviously, you're not going to be sitting Hawkinson on the bench or anything like that. You got to play these tight ends. I don't really think it'll be all that. I mean, obviously, it ain't going to be what it was, but I mean, it ain't going to be terrible.
You seen what the Cardinals tight ends been doing with Joshua Dobbs? He throws to the tight ends. Trey McBride had a great game last game, and Zach Ertz was getting targeted like crazy. So it's not going to be as good, but he's still going to probably be a top 5 tight end in the season. So I got Hawkinson and average Joes too, and I'm not. And I got Puka in there. Don't know what's up with Stafford neither. So I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of tough stuff going on out there.
Bullshit.
A lot of bullshit. I mean, hell, I get hit with the bullshit every other week, it feels like, man. In the home league, I can't catch a fucking break, man. I cannot catch a fucking break. I just want to break something, man. With Kirk Cousins, when I saw he went down, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? My last hope was him. Oh, man. Steve Swizzy, man, what you think, man? You think for the running backs for the Vikings it'll be all right, though? They're going to have to depend on the running game a little bit more, obviously. Madison, Akers.
See, I'm actually kind of to the point where I think Addison and Hawk are going to be all right. I wouldn't trade them.
Chris says, hold on.
I would not trade him.
Not Hawk. I wouldn't trade Hawk. There ain't no way I'd trade Hawkinson, but
I think I might just listen to Chris and just roll with Addison. I hope it pays off. Fuck.
He's showing out, man.
I should be up there with y'all. I'm in 4th place in that Average Joe's League. I should be up there with you two motherfuckers, you and Fish Peddler, man. That shit just
season ain't over. You can get up there.
I gotta make a deal. That playoff race is tight. That man, I'm gonna make sure next year I'm in multiple redraft leagues next year.
Well, not every day you wake up and you just got a juicy ass trade come in your inbox for no apparent reason. Motherfuckers just giving Josh Allen away and shit.
Shit.
Hey, he's won 2 games in a row since he made that fucking trade though.
Yeah.
Went from 2-4 to 4-4. He's like, I just got to get this Josh Allen fucker off my team. It's bad luck.
I know that is hilarious. All right, then. So Kraft, you out on the running backs too? Offense just gonna be bad. Out on Madison, out on Akers.
They sucked before. They're gonna suck even more now, is my opinion. Like less scoring opportunities, and I don't think Madison. I think Cam Akers scored last week. I think that was the first rushing touchdown that the Vikings have had all year. but it's Cam Akers scoring last week. And that was
All
with
right.
Cole.
So, anything else to say about our guys from the Minnesota Vikings?
Not really. I mean, Jefferson, if you want to mention him, what his outlook is dynasty wise, and
Hey, the best thing you could do is I mean, I would just try to go by him if you can. I know it's gonna be tough and all that shit, but throw something out there. Like if there's a competitor, I think I might have said this a few episodes. If there's a competitor that has Justin Jefferson and on the IR, throw one of these top guys at him if you really want to, especially if you're a rebuilding team. But it just depends on. Like I would throw a Stephon Diggs. I don't
has
know
he
about
dropped
AJ
in
Brown.
rankings though? Has he dropped in rankings? Like I know we talked about Chase is ahead, but is AJ Brown ahead of him?
I'm gonna say no, but I will say this about AJ Brown. I definitely got him in that Jamar Chase range, maybe even higher.
What do you
I
think,
ain't gonna
Chris?
lie.
Yeah, AJ Brown's just had a really good run. It just seems like ever since that game that he went out there and he started crying that he wasn't getting the ball, they're just like, okay, well, we're just gonna give this motherfucker the ball so much he ain't even gonna want the motherfucker no more. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely could see AJ Brown being kind of right there with Chase, and then you have the tier break, but JJ's still just like got to be the number one to me.
Right after that tier break right there with them two, I think I got Amon Ra.
So you don't even have Chase in the same tier as Jefferson?
I did at one point at the beginning of the season.
What? So you went down on Chase?
Well, I
as
mean,
the
he's
season
still
progressed?
technically in the same place, like 1 and 2. JJ, Jamar
They're in the
Chase.
same tier.
Yeah,
Is AJ Brown
kind
in
of.
that tier?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you meant like Justin
I'm
Jefferson's the clear number one, and then it
That's
drops
where I'm
off to
at.
Chase.
yeah.
What?
I'll tell you the biggest drop for me, even after the other day, was CD Lamb. I dropped CD Lamb down a good bit, like 2 or 3 spots.
I definitely got him below AJ Brown and Amon Ra right now.
You know what's funny, man? I think CD listened to the podcast because last one we talked about, man, got to drop CD. Next thing he does, fucking 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I do think Dallas is going to be working to give him the ball because he had said something that he's always open to. You might as well give him the ball. The running game ain't working. Give him the rock. And that was in a blowout, too. That's the thing about the Cowboys. Every game they're in is some kind of blowout. They're either getting blown out or they're blowing somebody out. So that's why I wasn't really hating on CD too much.
They got the Eagles this week.
Yeah. I'm hoping CD about to eat up on them motherfuckers, man. I need his ass. All right. Let's move on, man. William Levis. I put a hefty amount of money on the Falcons this week. God damn it! I thought, man, this was a shoe in,
You
man.
for real put the 200 on?
I put 200 on the Falcons this
Man.
week, man.
Ooh, that sucks. Because, I mean, you're
Son
like,
of a
man, this is
bitch.
guaranteed, man. Guaranteed.
I'm just kidding, man. I didn't put 200, man. But I did put, like, bigger amount than what I usually do for like,
He put
football.
like 5. He's lying. He put like
Nah.
500 on it.
I put 20. I put 25, and other than fights, like I'll go way up on some fights, but I won't. I don't really do that for football, especially NFL. If anything, you might catch me putting a 200 on a college football game, maybe or something. But NFL, hell no, nah, man. I did. I texted the crew, and I totally forgot to even say that I was just kidding about that shit. I was like, I put 200 on the Falcons today. If we were doing our guaranteed lock, that would have been it for me. The Falcons. I didn't even care that they were going on the road. I was like, Will Levis is starting. They're gonna play Malik Willis. Like,
I picked up their defense in a couple leagues. I was like, they definitely going off this week. Fucking Will Levis. Who is this guy?
Man, you can't trust the fucking Falcons, man. Seriously. They are so ass, man. It makes me so mad. That's just the story of my life. Right when I said that, as the Mill said, can't bet on the Falcons. I was like, you're right about that. I never bet on the Falcons, and I was so confident this week. But with that said, Will Levis, what he had, 4 touchdown passes, finished with, what was it, 40-something fantasy points, Chris? It was something like that?
It was like like 34 in the doo-doo league, I believe, and that's even with like the bonuses to yardage and whatnot.
Yeah, 6 point touchdown.
Yeah. So
Passing
Will
touchdown.
Levis had a great game. Threw 3 touchdowns to D Hop and then 1 to who was it? Westbrook, Naeem Westbrook, or however you say his name.
Akine, yeah, Westbrook
Kine,
Akine.
something Westbrook. That guy. He threw it to him. And
Not Burks.
so what's the deal? I mean, everybody knows if you've listened to the pod, if you listen to me and Craftman break these guys down, hell, we had a hell of a time talking about Will Levis. I was roasting on his ass every other episode. They were talking about him being a top 10 pick. I even heard top 5 at some points, and I just laughed my ass off every time I heard that kind of nonsense. Fell to the Titans, though, in round 2. Kraft, what are we doing with Will Levis, man?
You selling his ass. You're picking his dusty ass up, taking him outside and putting him on a table and fucking putting the yard sale sign out in your yard. And you're seeing only one person will come up and try to get that shit. That's the problem. The whole neighborhood ain't coming. It's just that one drunk dude walking down the driveway to come get Will Levis.
Shout out to the poor man, P. Miller. Me and him in talks right now.
Exactly.
But that's the thing.
Guy
I will be 100% objective though when I talk about Will Levis right here, because I do think if you want to go buy this dude, he could possibly pay off. Like, I'm not saying me and the crap man believe it, but if you spend a late first round on Will Levis and then he ends up starting for the Titans for the next 4 years and they end up working it out and he's actually out there producing and stuff like that, that late first will definitely be worth it. I just don't know if you think, like, people like me and the Craft Man just don't know if that shit's going to happen. But it could. I mean, it's obviously it could happen.
Well, I just don't know at what point his value was last week before he played that game compared to what it is now. I mean, it just took a major jump, and I'm just on the side of I don't think it's going to get much higher. Yeah. Because I just don't believe in Will Levis. But he could prove me wrong. He's got a strong arm. They said the same thing about like Herbert and these strong arm guys coming out of college. Oh, they're not smart. They can't read coverages. They just got a strong ass arm. Like Josh Allen, same. But they ended up working out, so there's a 10% chance for me. I think Will Levis is going to work out, but once teams get some tape on him and they realize that he can't perform when they put some pressure on his ass, it's going to be tough. That's just my take.
Chris, what you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, once they start rushing, if they not just bring in the 4, if they start bringing the 6, or they load it up with 8, this kid's going to be running for his life. Like, he's not going to have time to sit in the pocket and air that ball out 70 yards down the sideline. He's not going to be able to do it. Really, what I think happened this week was that I don't think that Atlanta even really gave a shit about their pass offense at all. Yeah, they got DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks and over that, but they had to respect Derrick Henry and all that back there. Then they went through, oh, we're rotating quarterbacks. Well, now they have to account for Malik Willis rushing, then putting in Levis, and then at the end of that game, it just looked like they were just telling Hopkins, go, just go. And Will Levis was just throwing him the ball, is what it looked like. When you got somebody like D-Hop just running down like that and you're throwing it up on one-on-one coverage, I mean, most quarterbacks in the NFL, I think, can do that.
But what happens? They play Pittsburgh tomorrow. Just say he goes out there, those 2 picks, has like 200 yards passing, just looks terrible. I mean, how far does he drop again in like his value? How far does it drop again in Dynasty? Does it go back to where it was, or is it somewhere in between?
I think it's in between, probably.
Yeah, I think it'd be in between. Because you saw something of what he could, like I'd say last game that we saw him play, we saw what he was drafted for. Like you said, the strong arm quarterbacks. He showed that he can do that. But we didn't see him reading these coverages and all of this other stuff. We saw him exploiting man-to-man defense with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, selling him, like you said, you got a late first for him. or you drafted him in the late first, and then you could probably maybe get a late first. I mean,
I think that's just a good trade both ways,
Yeah, and I guess the best you could do is just maybe you're wrong. Maybe we're wrong about when we were looking at his tape and shit. Maybe we're just wrong, and he ends up being good, and that late first turned out to be a good quarterback.
Yep. It's just, win-wins on both sides if you're willing to go for it and do it. You won't see me, Kraft, and Chris throwing our first rounds for him, but there'll definitely be some people out there that'll do it, and if it pays off, some people are going to reap the benefits from throwing that first out there and going and getting Will Levis.
I guess the late first would be sort of worth it. It just depends on how long y'all think he's going to actually start. Like, do y'all see it? Is there any chance that they bring Tannehill back in when he's healthy? Is there any chance that he doesn't play next year? Like, I feel like he should play most of the year next year. They're going to have to see. But
I think it's a possibility this could be their guy. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not...
Well, you've seen their offense changing. Like, you can see every game that they're trying to change what they are when they go out and play. Like, you see them run these pass plays and stuff like that, trying to get Okonkwo and D-Hop the ball, Treylon Burks the ball, and they're running Tajay Spears back there a good bit. So, I mean, they're like ready. I feel like this team is like in transition is what they're trying to do because they don't know about Derrick Henry. It's just kind of up in the air. Malik Willis, I'll be honest, there's a 0% chance that this dude starts at all for the Titans. Like, if Will Levis is healthy, there's no point. He makes so many bad decisions out there. I mean, he's fast now. I mean, he can run the ball. He's a big guy, but as far as coverages and all that, no. His football IQ, that 1 week when they were on the goal line and he did that, I just said, "What, man, they should pull his ass out of the game right now." I wouldn't. No, that was stupid as fuck. But I mean, Will Levis, he could play out though. I mean, they got Hopkins, they got Treylon Burks, who was hyped up, and Okonkwo. I mean, we all like Okonkwo, so just got to see it.
Shoot, while we on the ties, crap, I'm just gonna go and say this. I got a lot of Treylon Burks in best ball. A lot of Treylon Burks. I think it's a possibility we should be just bust. I think it could be bust territory. It's funny because I wasn't like the super highest on him, and like when we was doing the rookie drafts and all that stuff from 22 or whatever that year was. He came out of Arkansas. Wasn't like the super highest on him then, but then during the offseason, I was like, dude, this dude's value so low. Let's go ahead and take a shot on him. I would say that for a lot of players. Like, there's probably gonna be some players during the offseason where I'm gonna be like, he wasn't bad this year, or he was bad this year. Go take a shot on him. Throw a second on there. I'm gonna say the same. Well, I took my shot on Treylon Burks, and he just ass. He just ain't that good.
It might not be that good. Hey,
it might not be that good.
Thinking about it, though, it's been a weird year for second-year receivers. Usually, when they show out their rookie year, they take a good bump. But it seems like all of them have kind of gone down in their numbers. Jameson don't look good. Garrett Wilson lost his quarterback. Chris Olave's got worse statistics than he did last year with supposedly a better quarterback. Drake London's, his statistics are probably going to be worse than his rookie year. And Treylon sucks. Jahan Dotson, not playing as good as he did his rookie year. It's just some weird shit going on.
Yep. It's funny because that class was looking really good, and then now it's just not looking so hot, Jameson Williams, who we about to talk about right now, because, what is his name? Donovan Peoples-Jones just got traded from the Browns to the Lions, and to me, this is just, it's not a knock on Amon-Ra, that's for sure, and this ain't looking so good. Jameson Williams looking like a bust. Some people holding the bag on his ass. I remember being in that. You see that garage right there? I remember us sitting in there, and the Kraft man was like,
"We don't
know some Jameson Williams." Loving him.
We don't talk about Bruno.
But what do y'all think about that trade? What y'all think about? Still, Jameson Williams probably. I'm gonna be honest, Kraft. Still, at this point, probably a buy low in Dynasty. Even I'll say that. But when I'm talking about buy low now, is I'm sliding a third out there. I ain't even gonna slide no second out there. Maybe if I know it's gonna be a late second, go take a shot on him. Hopefully, he has a year 3 bounce back or something like that. A full year too, hopefully. But not looking so good for him.
I think he's still the number one in that offense, man. You go back to week 6, he had 2 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. 26.5 yards per catch. Not just anybody can do that. Not just anybody. Only the superstars can do some shit
I
like
thought
that.
he was being serious for a second. I was like, oh.
Just not a good look. But I mean, the man's really barely been on the field, and now he's been on the field and he ain't really producing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like what his role is. Like, I just don't see Jared Goff as that quarterback to be just slinging it deep like that. It just fits perfect for Amon-Ra and what he does. And Laporta. There's a lot of mouths to feed now. Got Jahmyr Gibbs, too. His work is starting to amp up a little bit. Had a good week last week. Montgomery coming back healthy. So it's just there's mouths that need to be fed. And Jameson Williams looks like the odd man out, especially when they go out and get a wide receiver. They're a competing team. This is a move that they think helps them get better for right now.
Yeah. I did hear on a podcast today that, PFF does their rankings on all the positions and stuff, and they ranked 106 wide receivers. Jameson Williams was ranked 106th.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what his. I guess he's just not like a Dan Campbell guy. I don't know what's going on. Like, he was good in college, but it just seems like it must be a mental thing, like preparation, not running the right routes, probably a bad block, like not a good run blocker. Like, it just seems like they just don't want him on the field.
Yeah, well, it seems to me like there's kind of like some headbutting between, like you said, with him and Campbell and stuff. I mean, Campbell been building that culture over in Detroit for a little bit, and you can kind of tell if he's got some guys that aren't bought in, he don't give a fuck. He will replace your ass, and he will throw somebody else out there.
This is true. So yeah, I think we all kind of on the same page. Not a good look during the off season. I will go tell you go buy low on him though. That's just the cold hard truth of the thing. Because you should. I mean, the dude's got talent and stuff like that. It's just not working out right now. But to be fair, he hasn't really had a full season. So
maybe they just trade his ass.
Well, the first full season wasn't his fault. This season, this was all his fault. This year, this was his fault that he didn't play for that long. Like, I mean, when you're gonna do dumbass shit like get caught gambling, like, come on.
Yeah.
Shape the fuck up, man.
Yep, got to button up a little bit. Ain't no doubt about it. These ain't the Detroit Lions of old, man. That shit was slide back in the day, acting a fool. But that's pretty much all I had on the write down. Quick question for y'all: would you trade Deshaun Watson and a 25 first for Tua and a third? So basically Tua. Deshaun Watson 25 first for Tua in my most important league.
Yeah,
just like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think I would.
Chris sitting here like, I don't want him competing. I'm gonna say no.
I don't know, man. Deshaun. I would do it. Yeah, I mean, Tua.
Getting to think about it with Deshaun, I was thinking about it the other day. Do y'all remember any quarterback that just sat out a full year and came back and was good? Because I couldn't think of one that was actually out for a while, came back and was the same. So, what, you get it done? Did you get the trade done? Did you?
I just did it. Yeah. Man, it feels good, man. I was about to have to start Baker Mayfield this week. Now
What's
I got
wrong with Baker?
Hey, man, I'll take Baker over Deshaun right now. Jeez. Man, be letting me down. Hey, I'm going for it, too. I just took a little step up. But, yeah, man, I'm with you. Ain't nobody sat out a whole year, come back and been better. And Deshaun Watson's been out for pretty much 2 years, right? Wasn't it? Didn't something happen Did he get hurt? Is that
No,
what
he
happened? I
just
can't
he
remember.
refused to play for the Texans, just like he's doing
Yeah.
right now with the Browns.
Yeah,
Like
he refused to play. I just feel like him signing with because I mean, like the original plan was he was gonna go to Atlanta, right? Atlanta and Carolina were the ones pushing really hard for him. Yeah, did you see? I went live. I
I
was about
just
to
seen
say.
I seen somebody put a clown emoji on that trade I did. I was like, damn, I wonder who's hating it. So Chris, that's like that one where he did with Dunk, and I was like, there goes old Dunk Chris colluding again. Everybody colluding. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Deshaun, I defended him for so much. You can't really defend it right now. I mean, I'm not saying
No.
the Browns are the best, but hey, you signed that money, you took that money, like should have went to the motherfucking Falcons. Bitch ass, man. You had Drake London and all them, man, but here you are.
Because he came to
Stuck in
Carolina, he'd have Jonathan Mingo and DJ
Adam
Chark,
Thielen.
I
Adam
don't
Man,
think it's the
Thielen.
Browns, man. I think it's him. The Browns are a winning team. Browns are a good team. Like
it's definitely
it's
Deshaun.
definitely him. Don't
Oh
matter
man,
where he
Deshaun.
landed.
You know what it is, Deshaun? I don't know how many people out there that know who Kawhi Leonard is. He's pulling a Kawhi Leonard. He just motherfucker don't want to play. Motherfucker ain't going out there. He don't want to play. His knee hurts or something. Shit. So I don't know, man. That Deshaun Watson got all that money. He's basically an NBA player right now. Some of these quarterbacks, you could say they kind of like have some NBA. They can hold teams hostages and shit
The
like
man
that.
just
Well,
said, "I'm
Deshaun,
gonna fuck up the quarterback market, and that I'm not playing no more. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home, man."
I
I
mean,
mean, I
good
feel
lord.
bad for Browns fans. They finally got him a quarterback. Like,
And
they
what's
thought
so
they
crazy is
finally
that
got him
all
one.
these Browns fans was defending Deshaun Watson. A lot of these people probably never even heard of fucking Deshaun Watson. They were probably like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, he was good." Yeah, and start playing, defending his ass, and then now he's like,
It's gonna
"I
be
ain't
real
playing with
sad.
you."
It's gonna be real sad for Browns fans when they can't like re-sign Myles Garrett and shit because they got to pay fucking Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Then Browns fans are gonna be pissed.
Yep.
Yep. Any more trades or anything we got to throw on out there?
Dude, I didn't have no trades going down this week.
Quiet week. Quiet week. What about this, Chris?
Not like last week.
Got one more for you, Chris. I am a tanking team. I'm a team not trying to win. Craftman is a competing team, and he has Kirk Cousins who just got hurt, and I got Deshaun Watson. I mean, not Deshaun Watson. I got Derek Carr. Would you trade Derek Carr for Kirk Cousins if you're in my situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you know you're not planning to win, and you know Kirk is hurt, so
Chris don't want me to have no
Kirk,
Derek Carr. He wants me to have to start Zach Wilson for the rest of the fucking year.
I
putting
was
Chris
this
on the
close.
spot.
After I said that that day that I was like, I just can't give you a first for Kirk. Oh man, I was this close to just saying fuck it and sending it.
I wish somebody would offer me a first for Kirk, so I could have just declined it anyway. And then he gets hurt. Man, that's some bullshit. Kirk Cousins ain't never been hurt his whole freaking career.
Never. I agree.
I mean, what the hell, man? And then Stafford gets hurt. Those are my two quarterbacks.
Uh-oh. Your
Pissing
boy,
me
man.
off.
Man, y'all better check your phones. Your boy, man, Hamm just making
Making-
moves like crazy. I might have one more here about to go through. Crazy.
Got Derek Carr. Time to trade him to Dunk for 2 seconds. Get on with my life.
Well, shoot, fellas, that's pretty much all we got for the folks out there this weekend. Listen, man, I've been liking these episodes that we've been getting, talking about these players, getting into their situations, dynasty, redraft. We cover it all. So, Craftman, you got anything you want to say to the folks out there?
No, man, I'm good.
See, Swizzy, anything to say to our motherfucking fans?
I'm good.
All right, then, peeps, man. Thanks for listening to the pod. Go on, man, add our podcast. You know what? The best way for our podcast to grow is tell your people that like playing fantasy football. Check us out. If they like sports, stuff like that, Me, Kraft, Chris, we're gonna drop another Dynasty League over here over the summer. Need 12 people to jump in, win some money. Hop on in there. We might be in there. We might not be in there. But if you like fantasy football, come join us. We'd be glad to have you. That's basically all I got to say. Add the podcast.
Yep, go from Doo-Doo Dynasty to Diarrhea Dynasty on the next one.
I was saying we go to Doo-Doo Dynasty. What's the next? Going to be Poo-Poo Dynasty? Oh, man.
Little PP Dynasty.
Oh, man. So, I guess that about wraps it up, though. So, we out.
Peace.